Creativity is hard. Yeah. Have you ever started something, launched something that means so much to you, but at some point you have to decide, is it something that you're going to keep doing or is it time to let go? Yeah. Well, I started this podcast literally 9 months ago, and I'm actually considering quitting. And here's why. Welcome to Small Talk with Sheila, the podcast where we talk about big things in a small amount of time. And this one is very real to me. So I hope you grab a hot beverage of your choice, you light your Sheila candle, and let's get into it. Yeah, I'm considering quitting my podcast. And here's why. 3 reasons that are pretty major. Number one is I guess I just didn't realize how much my friends and family would have opinions of my podcast. Oh gosh, you guys, it really honestly started with my mom, who I don't know, like she's kind of supportive of the idea, but not really into the idea. I don't think she really understands the idea. And very early on, I remember, I was posting more stuff on social, and I put this story of like a sauce that my husband had made, and we just showed the story of the sauce. And my mom calls me and she's like, Sheila, that was so good. That story was so good. You need to do more of that, less talking, less your face. And I was like, wait, mom, that's the whole point. Small talk with Sheila. I'm doing a podcast where I'm supposed to be talking to people. And I know she meant it with such love, and I know that, but still, it's kind of like a gut wrench, to hear it. And then a few weeks ago, I went to hang out with some friends, some girlfriends of mine, and we decided to have like a girlfriend pool day. And just to set the scene, I was feeling really bloated that day. And I remember like not really want to be in a swimsuit, but I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go hang out with my girlfriends, get some quality time in, and we're sitting by the pool. It's really hot. I'm feeling kind of bloated, and I don't even know how it came up, but I think a friend of mine mentioned something about my podcast. I'm like, oh hey Sheila, how's it going with the podcast? And then this other friend of mine, she all of a sudden was like, yeah, I just don't get it. I don't get your podcast. Like, I tried to listen to an episode, but it's not interesting to me at all. Like, it doesn't capture my attention. And, I have been preparing for this. I know that I'm not for everyone. I'm not everyone's cup of tea, literally. But for some reason, I really shrank in that moment. And all I could say is, well, it's okay. My podcast isn't necessarily for all my friends and family. Like, some people relate to it, some people don't. But then she just kept going on and on about, like, maybe I should have guests so it's not just me. And then that way, if it's bad, it's not like a reflection of who I am, but maybe a reflection of the guest. And you guys, I remember being sweaty, feeling gross, and really wanting to cry. And I somehow was like, hey, you guys, I have to head out home early. And I went in the car and I bawled my eyes out. I bawled my eyes out, you guys. And I remember just kind of being like, oh, is this all worth it? Bearing my soul on the internet for my friends and my family to judge me. And then I swear, 2 nights later, I also get this text from this girl that I kind of know. I don't know her that well yet. And it's this beautiful long text about how she's been listening to all of my episodes and how they've been really inspiring her. And it was so sweet and endearing, and it made me feel a little bit better. And then I also have my friend Sabrina. Shout out Sabrina. She literally listens, you guys, to every single episode, like my husband. And then she'll call me and or leave a voice note about what she learned from the episode, how much it meant to her. And it's really special. Those moments are really special, and the moments where people that you would hope just wouldn't even say anything, say stuff that doesn't feel great. But the truth is, none of it matters. The naysayers don't matter, and the people that are, as much as it feels good, that are telling me how much they love the podcast, they don't matter either. And I'm reminded of this story. My friend in college was going to journalism school, and I still remember this, but she was talking about this really famous journalist, and he was reflecting on his life and being a journalist. And he said there were times in his career, depending on the story that he was telling, that he was really revered by people. And there were also times in his career where he was really criticized. But neither mattered because he was the same journalist no matter what. And his only job was to get better at his craft. His only job was to learn how to tell a better story. And while I want to quit because sometimes my friends and family can really break my heart, that's not important. Important is that I continue honing in on my craft and learning to tell better stories, one story at a time. And okay, this is another reason why I'm thinking of quitting. Well, I guess this is the part of the creative journey I didn't think. For a long time, I had been talking about wanting to start something, small talk with Sheila, small talk with Sheila. And finally, after years, honestly, I finally said, okay, I'm going to do it. And I somehow thought that the minute I actually just said yes, the universe was gonna give me a hall pass to all the problems in my life. I wasn't going to have to pay for taxes. I wasn't going to get in a fight with my husband. I wasn't going to get sick. Everything would just be okay. And all I would have to do is devote myself to my creativity. And that is very naive, you guys. That is very naive. And I often think that when we see the creative artistic journey, we see just their creative journey, but also life happens to them. I was thinking Michelangelo, when he was painting the Sistine Chapel, I bet he got sick, I bet he had a cold. I bet there was a day where he got in a fight with someone. I bet he had to pay taxes and he owed people money. I don't know, but I guess you just think of this creative journey as I don't know, just feelings and whatnot. But life just also happens to you. And I'm dealing with a lot of life. I mean, I work in tech, and if you guys work in tech right now, it's pretty insanity. And so in lots of ways in the last 9 months, I've had to deal with so much stuff outside of the podcast that sometimes I just am I don't know if I can continue doing the podcast because life is getting in the way. And you guys, I guess I also didn't realize how literally hard it's going to be. Hard. Doing this podcast, working full time. I wake up a lot of times at 5 a.m. Sometimes I don't have any ideas for episodes I want to do. Sometimes I'm honestly just a mess in my own life. And I'm how am I even supposed to help people right now? Right now as I'm eating a bunch of Doritos and, rotting on a couch all day. And I'm supposed to come here and tell people to go after their dreams. It's hard. It's very hard. And I think about my friends that are new moms, and they tell me how hard it is to be a new mom, you guys. There's postpartum. There's obviously, waking up, not sleeping. Oh, one friend of mine said it in such a great way. She said, I feel like my body isn't even my own body anymore. And I get it. I get it. Okay, I understand a podcast is not like having a baby. It's totally different, but it's hard. It's really hard. I mean, 9 months, I've literally been birthing this idea and putting it out into the world. But this is what I never hear my friends say. I never hear my friends say, well, I'm just going to give the baby back. No. Once you have a baby, once you put something out into the world that's so part of you, quitting is not an option, And so as much as I think it would be really easy right now, really easy to just turn off the mic, do one last, cut and move on with my life and, just live. I don't have that option anymore because this idea of mine it's also giving me what I'm sure the new moms are getting too. It's giving me life. It's giving me life in a way that I haven't felt in so long. It is giving me a perspective. It is allowing me to express myself. It's allowing me to come up with stories that I want to tell, and I don't know, creating content that I think might be fun. It's so much part of me that actually quitting is not an option. So, if you're here and you were like, okay, I was really hoping she'd quit, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm not quitting. I can't quit, you guys. This means so much to me. And I hope that I continue telling better stories that you can relate to. And I hope that by me doing something that is hard amidst a life that is chaotic, it reminds you that you can do it too. You can start anything. And I'm not going to tell you it's going to be easy, but I am going to tell you it's going to be worth it. So yeah, I guess I'll see you next week with another episode of Small Talk with Sheila. Cheers to that.